Hey guys, it's Vicki, and today I'm here to share with you a book haul. I just want to show you some of the books that I have accumulated over the past couple of months. A few of them are from subscription boxes. The rest are from either library book sales or from Second and Charles. So I have about a dozen or so here, so I might as well just get started. The first book that I have to show you guys is one that I've actually already read. And that is Gwendy's Button Box by Stephen King and Richard Chizmar. This is one that came in the June Nocturnal Readers box. It is Stephen King's newest release, and this particular edition is a exclusive edition from the Nocturnal Readers box, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, this one is about a young girl named Gwendy who is given this mysterious box with buttons on it that you can push and like little levers that do magical things. And it is given to her by this mysterious man in black, and she's kind of not sure what the box is all about and what it's going to do, but she takes it and keeps it, and then things happen. So, yeah, this was the first one that I got in that box. And the other one that came in that same box is Pork Pie Hat by Peter Straub. And this one is about a jazz musician who is getting on in life, and I believe he's ill, and he is remembering or telling a story about something that happened to him as a child, or something that he witnessed, some sort of horrible event that he witnessed as a child on Halloween. So I plan on saving this one for, you know, Halloween and reading it in October. So there's that. And then the other two from the subscription boxes that I have are from the July box, which I just opened recently. And the first one is Come to Dust by Bracken McLeod. And this one is about children coming back from the dead. And I don't think they're exactly zombies because they act like normal children, but they look dead, which is yucky. And then they do have some sort of special gift or ability that is, you know, kind of terrifying. But it centers around a man whose niece is one of these children who has passed away and then came back to life, and he's trying to, I don't know, somehow keep, you know, giving her a normal life even though she's, you know, a zombie. So I don't know, it sounds kind of interesting. It sounds like it might have a good mixture of like horror and heart, which is always, you know, kind of fun. And then the other one that came in that same box is Bleed by Ed Kurtz. And this one has me a little bit intrigued. It's about this guy who lives in an old house, and he discovers one day this red like spot on his ceiling, and it starts to grow and look kind of like a blood spot. And not only does it start to grow, it starts to kind of like develop into some sort of creature and talk to him, which is really bizarre. And he starts to kind of have this relationship with this creature and feed it small animals, but then it becomes more needy and it wants like human blood and stuff. So it just sounds like an overall very bizarre, maybe a little bit gory of a story. I hope it's not too gory, because as much as I love like horror and spooky things, gory, bloody things kind of, I can't really do that well. I don't do so well with blood, so we'll see how this one goes, but I am very like interested in just the concept of this book. The next couple that I have to show you guys, I got at a library book sale, so I got them at a really good price, as always. That's why I love my library sales. The first one being Peace Like a River by Leif Enger, I think is how I say it. And I picked this one up because Katie over at Life Between Words has talked about this book quite a few times and has said that it's one of her favorite books. So when I saw it, I had to pick it up, right? Because it does sound very interesting. It's about a young boy whose older brother is charged with murder. I believe he's charged with murder, and he is evading the police. And so he's like on the run, and the young boy, and I think his family, at least him and his father and his sister, are trying to find him. So it's like a kind of a family drama with themes about, you know, family and love and sacrifice, and it just sounds interesting. And it seems like Katie has really good taste in books, so I think I'm gonna enjoy this one. So yeah, I got this one. And then the next one that I got at the library sale is The Dinner by Herman Koch? Not sure. And the reason I picked this one up, I know it was made into a movie, but I picked it up because it's just interesting to me that the story takes place over such a short amount of time. It's literally over a dinner between two couples, and their sons, their teenage sons, have done something horrible. They've committed some sort of crime or done something, and the two sets of parents are coming together to discuss it. So it only like spans like a couple of hours in an evening, which is just an interesting concept to me, to have a whole book kind of have such a short span. So yeah, I'm interested to pick this one up for sure. And then the next one that I got was White Oleander by Janet Fitch. And this one I've seen around forever, and I've heard that the writing in this is amazing. And that it's very poetic, it's beautiful, almost like can't be beat. But I've also heard that the story is super depressing and sad. So I think I have to be in the right type of mood to read it. But it's about a young girl who is, I believe she's bounced around throughout the foster care system in different foster families because her mother commits a murder and is in jail. So she her life is kind of ruined and crappy because of this thing that her mother did. So I'm assuming it's about her growing up in this system and having a bad life, and then, you know, having this, I'm assuming, strained and kind of crappy relationship with her mother. So, but again, like I said, heard the writing was great. So yeah, I definitely want to get this one soon. And then the next one I picked up, it just looks really fun, is John Dies at the End by David Wong. And I picked this one up because it just sounds like it's got a good mix of kind of like, I don't want to say horror, but like just like suspense and but also a lot of humor. And it's written so that it's like the author is talking to you, like you're part of the story, and it's about him and his friend John. And it sounds like they come across some sort of drug called soy sauce, which is interesting, that they, when you take it, it allows you to visit parallel worlds and like go to other places, and that just sounds cool. But also kind of like suspenseful and like what kind of trouble are they going to get into in these other places. And just like I said, just reading like the little flap inside, I was just kind of already chuckling and kind of liking the writing style, so I decided to pick it up. And then the last one that I got at the library sale was Just After Sunset by Stephen King. This is a short story collection that is a little bit on the newer side. I feel like this is one of his newer ones. I haven't heard anything about any of the stories in here. This one I just haven't heard a whole lot about, but obviously I want to read it because I'm trying to work my way through all of his work. And this one actually, it's in pretty good shape, so I figured why not, and so I picked it up. And then the last couple books are from Second and Charles, which is new to me because my husband and I just realized that one opened nearby us. It's actually in the old Borders location, which is like so sad to me because I was a Borders girl. I loved Borders, and I was really sad when they went out of business. But anyway, so we went there, and the place is awesome. Like, it's huge for one. They have tons of books. Like, their children's section alone, I was like overwhelmed. Like, I was like, I have to leave this section because it was just so massive. And then of course they have a ton of books. They have vinyl, they have CDs, movies, games. I mean, like, it's just a really cool store. And I wish we could have spent more time there, but you know, we had to get home to the babysitter and stuff. So it was a fun date night, and I did pick up a couple of books. So the first one being Needful Things by Stephen King. This one's in pretty good shape, and the prices are alright. I mean, they're not as good as like a library sale, but they're still pretty good for being used books. And this one is one that I have been wanting to read for a really long time, and I kind of know the story because I've seen the movie. But it's about a man named Leland Gaunt, which, by the way, side note, is like a really cool villain name. It's like kind of just perfect, right? But anyway, he comes to the small town of Castle Rock, which is one of Stephen King's famous fictional towns, and he opens this shop called Needful Things. And within this shop, when you walk in, you find items that, or an item that your heart has most desired, like forever. Something that you just really, really, really want. And it could be as simple as a baseball card or an old board game or something, you know, that's just significant to you. And he doesn't charge you for these items with money. He wants you to do some sort of deed for him. And so the book is very much about the price that people pay and the things that people are willing to do to get something that they really want. So I think it's going to have a lot to say about consumerism in general and how we are kind of obsessed with having objects and what the dangers are there. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, the things he has you do are not good things, and it usually ends up hurting or damaging somebody else. So it's like, are you willing to do that to somebody else to get something that you really want? So this one's going to be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to picking this one up as soon as possible. And then the last two I was really excited about, because if you guys watched my last video where I talked about authors that I haven't read yet but want to, I got some books dealing with that topic. And the first one is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. And this one is one that I have been wanting to read for a really long time, but I mean, look at this thing. It's a chunker. Like, this is like a brick right here. But I'm really glad that I found it in paperback, because I think it's just going to be easier to read because it is so large. But yeah, this is one that I really do want to read as soon as possible. I've heard, again, that the writing is beautiful, that the story is really engrossing, kind of slow, that, you know, it'll take a while to read, but that it's very, you know, overall it's very satisfying. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And then the last one that I picked up is another one that I'm excited about because it was an author that, you know, I've been wanting to try, and that is The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. And it kind of just worked out that I was looking around, and this was the only Kate Morton that the store had at the time. And it's a pretty decent hardcover. And when I read the flap, this one just sounded really interesting. It's about a young girl who witnesses a crime happen on, I think it's like on her property or something, between her mother and a man. And then 50 years later, they're at the same place, I believe, and they're celebrating her mother's birthday. And she decides to ask her mother about it because it was something that happened that was never talked about. And after all these years, she's still curious about what happened. And so her mother starts to share with her not only what happened then, but things about her life before the event, dealing with like World War II and the Blitz and just things like that in England. And it just sounds really good, like a good piece of like historical fiction and mystery. I think it's going to be a really good one, and I'm really excited to read this one as soon as possible. Okay guys, so that is my book haul, my most recent book haul. Please let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and which one you think I should read first, because there's a lot here and I would love to know what you guys think would be the best. And of course, yeah, if you've read them before, please feel free to give me some insight on what you thought of them too. But yeah, other than that, that is all I have for today, guys. I hope that you are having a wonderful week, and I want to thank you for watching. And if you would like to, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye!